and so you see Fermi-mobiles filled with 10 or more kids in the van, and that's not always a bad thing. But with families that who have parents where the adults don't know how to be good parents, that's a terrible thing, and it's a tragedy for every one of those kids, and it's a blemish on this community as a whole, because we have to now deal with these 10 screaming brats who turn into 10, whatever when they get older. And it would be nice if the Frum world would take a different approach. Rather than worrying about quantity, we worry about quality, because nowhere in the Torah does it say that you need to spit out 10 kids. What's important is bringing up one child is like an entire world. Let's worry about fixing the world before we go on to the next world. Let's perfect the first kid, then we'll have a second kid. Okay? All you need to do to satisfy what's called Perubu, which is increase and be fruitful and increase, is have 4 kids, one of each gender. If you have 4 kids, one of each gender, in your entire life, according to everyone, you're done. You don't need to have any more kids. Ever. Right? So if you have that, why are you still spitting them out all the way up to 10? I had this question. I can't figure it out for the life of me why they do it. And the more kids they have, the worse it is for each kid, because it's less attention for them, right? And why would you do that to people? And it just doesn't make any sense. Not everyone can handle being parents of so many kids. I asked my sister. She had an interesting spin. You want to hear this? Mm-hmm. She said that Jews have been on the run for so long, and we've been in like this. When people are afraid they're about to be annihilated, they tend to have a ton of more kids because they're afraid that they're going to be annihilated. So they need to make sure that there's still more Jews around. They need to make sure there's more offspring around to perpetuate the community. I don't feel like we're on the move anymore. I think the time period of Jews being chased down and pogroms and Holocausts and all this stuff is behind us. We're in America, and I think it's pretty safe here. I think, it's 4th of July, and I want to say thank you, America. I feel safe here. Maybe I'm wrong.
As long as you don't get south of 18th.
Right. I feel safe here. I don't think maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm not going to say that I'm not. But I think we're safe here, and I think we can rest and relax and start worrying about quality. And let's get out of fight-flight mode, people. Okay? So I would say it's not a numbers game. God will take care of us whether we have 1,000 Jews on the planet or 25 million. Okay? It's not that important. Just keep spitting them out in these huge numbers. Next, you wrote that if there were no modern state of Israel, there would probably be half as many identifying Jews in the world today. I couldn't disagree more. What the hell was that about? If there was no state of Israel, there would be less people identifying as Jewish? First of all, I would say the opposite. If anything, you've got all these Frummies, all these Hasidim, in Borough Park, in Williamsburg, in New York, who are Frummies and couldn't care less about the state of Israel and have nothing to do with it. They're Frum in spite of the state of Israel. Who exactly are you talking about?
Talking about the non-Orthodox.
Oh, so they wouldn't identify Jewish without the state of Israel.
Many of them. Yeah, many completely secular Jews.
Well, wait a second. Then it doesn't even make sense. You just said that they identify as Jews, and now you say that they're completely secular.
No, and the completely secular Jews.
If the completely how are the completely secular Jews identifying as Jewish?
There are completely secular Jews who say, yeah, I'm Jewish, but I don't observe anything. And then there are those who say I'm not Jewish. Those who say I'm Jewish are identifying as Jews.
Okay, here's how I say it. If someone's identifiably Jewish, that means you can look at them, you say there is a Jew, there's someone who's doing something Jewish, there's someone connected to his Jewishness, right? There's someone doing something Jewish. Like with me, you can tell just by the clothes that I wear, right? There's somebody, they're doing something Jewish. If you don't keep Shabbos, and you don't keep kosher, and you don't dress Jewish, and you're doing
But you date black girls.
And you date black...
A lot of secular Jewish guys like to date black girls.
Or Asian chicks.
That's their way of
or
being
Asian
Jewish.
chicks, right? You're with an Asian chick,
They
and
like to eat Chinese.
and you're squeezing her, you're squeezing.
Chas v'shalom.
No, you're squeezing her sweet and sours, right? And enjoying her duck sauce.
Getting her to install, DirecTV and to help you with your science homework.
Oh God, it's even worse. All right, or maybe she's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so she's probably reading to you Homer and Shakespeare.
Okay, so what if you're not identified as Jewish? How does it work? So I'm saying what you're saying doesn't even make sense. An oxymoron. It's a logic error. The people who identify as Jewish are the people who dress Jewish, the people who keep Shabbos, and State of Israel means nothing to us. And we'd be doing it anyways. And the people who they feel like connected to the State of Israel aren't people who anyways are following or doing anything identifying as. I don't understand your statement.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer fireworks or a parade?
I'd rather see the fireworks. Okay.
Why do you like a big gay parade?
No.
Okay.
Okay. And then you said an Israel of 7 million people is much stronger than an Israel of 3 million. Really? Because the 3 million people that lived in the State of Israel took over the Suez Canal, marched into Egypt, defeated 7 armies in 1 week. Today we have 7 million people in a State of Israel, and every day they give back another inch of land. They're so scared. Something to think about, Levi. Then you said, while 1 in 10 of American Jews are Orthodox, we've talked about this before, it's at least 20%, not 10%. And yeah, okay, I've said my piece. Go on.
Okay. So, excuse me, you have to read my...
Okay.
Balak feared Israel because of what they did to the Amorite. People only fear you if you've done something. It's like that episode of Weeds where the new kid
We talked about that one.
asks who's the biggest bully in the school and goes up to the bully and punches him in the face.
Right.
So all respect has a strong element of fear. If you don't have any fear for someone, you're not going to respect the person. So don't expect people to respect you if you haven't accomplished anything. Don't expect Jews to respect you if you're not financially secure, unless you're a great Talmud scholar. Balak hired Bilam as a sorcerer. Sorcerer is someone with the ability to bless and to curse people. But Bilam only ever claimed to be a diviner. A diviner is not a sorcerer. A diviner can foretell the future. So it's weird when you encounter people who believe you can do things that you can't do. And it's fascinating and frustrating when people see you differently than you see yourself. And sometimes they are right.
Yeah. What if someone came to you, Levi, and they said, we believe that you, Levi Ford, have the power to get Rabashkin out of prison?
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Right? And you said, I don't think so, right? And then you just laughed it off and said, oh, I'm just thrilled here. I'm this, that, and the other, right? What if you just don't understand that you're the one that can lead the Jews to the promised land?
Exactly.
Okay, keep going.
Bilam was able to get a lot more coin from Balak. How do you say Balak's name?
Balak.
Balak. Because he played hard to get. He said, oh, I don't think I can go. I can't do anything about Israel. Oh, God tells me not to go. I really shouldn't do anything. So Balak keeps coming back with more and more important emissaries and offering him more and more coin.
Actually, that could work in your favor with the Rabashkin thing. If you take the approach, I'm not doing anything in this whole thing, I don't know, it's like not going to happen. Maybe you'll make more money on it in the long run. You never know.
So the sages ask, why did Bilam saddle his own donkey?
Why didn't he saddle his ass?
So why did the Talmudic sages look down on this type of physical labor when done by a prophet or a sage? Like, I've known a lot of rich Goyish bosses who didn't mind getting dirty and working in the mud along with the guys, and that helped morale.
Okay, there's a Rashi that Rashi says when we talked about the Akedah. Do you remember talking about the Akedah?
Mm-hmm.
What's the Akedah? Tell everybody.
The binding of Isaac.
Right. It says that Abraham over there saddled his own ass.
Mm-hmm.
And Rashi says over there that was considered a... What was the word you used? Like disgrace or...
Disgrace.
It was a disgrace for someone of Abraham's wealth and stature to do it himself. He should have had one of the Goyim do it, right? And that's what Rashi says over there, and I don't know. I thought about this after I read it on your thing. I don't know the answer to that one, maybe. Nobody has a problem with that. It's like, yeah, that's like Jews don't do the work. get the goyim to do the work for us.